that stands between you and your dream is the will to try and the belief that is actually possible. It's a beautiful quote quoted by Joel Brown. So, with this quote, I would like to begin our talk show named Conversation with Consultants with episode 22 of our guest talk series. Good evening, everyone. I am Aditi Jain, Strategic Alliance Advisor of SK Associates and Group.
And I, Anjali Kumari, Compliance Manager of SK Associates and Group. We both are your hosts for today's talk show. Before we begin our talk show, let me briefly introduce SK Associates and Group. We are an ISO certified management consulting firm registered under MSMED Act 2006 with the Government of India. Our mission is to provide consulting services to student entrepreneurs globally, covering such as area compliance, operation, marketing, research and development, human capital, strategy and development. Our passion is to live growth.
Entrepreneurship is a catalyst for change and innovation. It's a powerful force that can reshape industries, transform lives, and make the world a better place. We are committed to support student entrepreneurs on their journey, equipping them with the tools, knowledge, and network they need to succeed.
Now, before we begin our show, let's take a moment to introduce our guest for today. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome Mr. Vinay Shukla, co-founder and managing partner, Whitespan Advisory and Law Offices, to this special event. We are truly honored by your presence today, and we are thrilled to have you to share this momentous occasion with us.
Very good evening. Very good evening to all. To all my lovely hosts, very good evening.
So my first question to you is, could you please share some insight into your background and elaborate on how you embarked on your journey in the field of law and auditing?
Let me tell you broadly three things. One, how I started my journey. Second, how I shape up this journey or to start this law firm. And third, what still we need to achieve. In the When we reach to the third part, we'll also discuss what new entrepreneurs, young generation can have a takeaway from our discussion and how that can be benefited to them. So let me start from the first, how we started this. My birthplace is Dhanbad, a place now in Jharkhand, earlier the unified Bihar. Then I brought up at Kanpur. It's a place in Uttar Pradesh, an industrial town known as the Manchester of India. I also completed my law degree from the Kanpur, the VSSD College, Vikramanjit Singh Sanatan Dharma College. After doing my graduation in commerce from Christchurch College, I was above average student with a keen interest in social and academic affairs. After this, then I started the law. For some time I practiced, and thereafter I joined the corporates. And that's how the corporate journey started. I worked for the Seat Tire Group, RPG Cables at that time in Lucknow. Thereafter, I worked for the telco dealers and the Bajaj auto dealers, a big firm known as Kalas Motor and Commercial Motors, having the presence in northern India and central India. Thereafter, I worked for the organizations like Delton Cables in Delhi, then Daewoo Motors. Daewoo Motors was one of the top automobile makers at that point of time. I'm talking about the year of 99 2000. Thereafter, I supported HP Group, Caparo. Caparo Group belongs to Lords Rajpal, one of the known industrialists and evangelists. And thereafter, I supported an organization called Sumitomo Corporation, Sumitomo Corporation Japan, for setting up their first wholly owned subsidiary in India in the name of India Steel Summit in the NCR region. This corporate journey spanned around 25 years. And during all that time, I was the part of regulatory affairs. I was the part of handling legal affairs, legal matters, compliances, and doing all that thing which was required for taking the organization from the birth stage to the stage of profitability, to the stage of profit maximization, and making the inroad in the business. So in all, what I wish to say that during this corporate time, my instinct as a director legal, as a CFO, as a head of regulatory and compliance, as a company secretary, was all supporting one way or other different set of corporates, different industries, different sectors, and different natures of organizations. I proudly say that during this time, I supported not only one nationality, but I supported different nationalities, from the Indian entrepreneurs to British entrepreneurs, from British to American, American to South Korean, South Korean to Japanese. So I have handled different set of nationalities, different set of entrepreneurs. And I also learned through all this interaction and working together the different sets of business traits, practices, and how, despite being the law different, how there is a unison in the core of the law. It was really an enriching journey, frankly. During
Great.
this time, we trained many newcomers, be it in law, be it in compliance, or be it in accountancy. And I will say not only this, but many persons from the administration, HR, commercial affairs, since I also handled the operations, all this come very handy to us. This not only helped me, but my team members also. Handling the team size of one person to more than 30 persons. It was a great learning curve, and it was also, I will say, a place and opportunity at which or by which we inculcated a lot of new abilities, new capabilities, and new skills among our team members. Having said so, sorry, just allow me 1 minute only. Having said so, I think one more important thing which I need to talk here was that at this point of time, when I was doing this, my corporate journey, I kept on learning. I did different set of courses to abreast myself with the new development in the regulatory and legal matters. And besides that, I continued my journey as a faculty member to different institutes also. So in this line, I was to say that after my commerce and law degree, I also completed my degree in management and certificate of company secretary. Then I'm also a fellow member of the Company Secretaries of India. You'll be happy to know that I have also been elected a regional council member of Northern India Regional Council for the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. It was the year 2018, and up till 2022, I was the regional council member of Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Prior to that, of course, I was part of the chapter team of Institute of Company Secretaries of India at Gurgaon, where I worked from the member to secretary to vice president, and vice president to the president, or rather the chairman of that chapter. So that is how the journey was. In this learning spirit and learning instinct, I was also the part of team of Toastmasters, a team, a talented team, which was built under the aegis of Toastmasters in CwC. It's one of the largest NGO, frankly. And we worked for shaping the talent in communications and leadership skills. It was a great journey. There also, I worked as a president for the chapter and also the mentor, and besides that, the governor of a particular area of Toastmasters Club. I kept on supporting as a faculty to different institutes, from Institute of Company Secretaries to Chartered Accountant, from Chartered Accountant to Delhi University, from Delhi to MIT, and many others. I have recently been appointed as committee member in the Aryabhat College of Delhi University, and for which I'm really thankful to Delhi University administration too. My journey from the corporate then took a turn in 2012 when we started the concept of boutique advisory, an advisory where we can support the entrepreneurs, where we can support from small to big organizations, not just by advising, but by providing the real kind of solution as their partner, as their knowledge partner. And that's how the birth of Whitespan Advisory took place. Since the start of this in 2012 with two members, now we have reached to the stage of, I will say, a bit progressive stage where we are now more than 30 plus professional across India. We started from one office in Gurgaon. Now we have more than three offices, Gurgaon, Mumbai, and Dubai. And besides that, we also have the associates office in different cities and states across the country. Our team also comprises from advocates to chartered accountant to company secretaries, and we also have the ed and assistance of IP professional, insolvency professionals, valuers, management graduates from IIT and IIMs, technocrats. This all expertise or the treasure of expertise is for the benefit of the organizations. We try to provide one-stop solution to all our corporate needs. Idea is to provide the solution from all angles, understand from different points, different angles, and provide a wholesome solution so that the problem is completely solved. The person who is coming with the problem may not be knowing what exactly the problem is. Take for example, like a doctor. When you go to a doctor, you just can't tell that, I have the ailment here. But that may not be all. That might be 10 other problems. And that's where we just don't make a quick solutions. Rather, we try to provide the wholesome solution to the problems. Be it a legal matter, be it a compliance issue, be it a complex taxation or financial irregularities, be it a white collar crime. We are there to support. And the entire team is there as a partner who supports them. This has been well received by the industry. This as a concept and Whitespan as an organization. And
I
while,
have a question here. Sorry, I have a question here. So, can
please,
you highlight, yeah, what are the some of most memorable milestones Whitespan Group has achieved under your leadership? Like any memorable milestone?
okay, good. I will say, though there are many such things which we really like to memorize, and sometime I will say I will post, but there are few which are really closer to our heart. And it's all because, this gives the maximum delight to our customers, our clients. There's one instance which I could remember at the start of our journey. I think it was in 2013, 2014 sometime, when somebody came to us. It was an MSME, was struggling for the recovery of maybe around 1 plus CR, and they were at the verge of closure without getting that money. They tried all their bit from the small to good advocates. Then finally, they came to us. We not only handhold them, but we ensure that they get their recovery done. At that time, I remember the IBC was not there. Section 433 of the Companies Act was there. And this was the big organization who was there as a respondent, defendant. We filed a suit because they were at that time going into the IPO. They could not afford it out and they immediately settled the matter with us, not only for the principal but with the entire interest, whatever we have asked for at that time. It was so strategically timed, meticulously implemented. It helped our client, and of course, what we kept on saying that client की खुशी में ही हमारा सुख है. So that is how, you know, their delight was our the biggest, I will say, the testimonial. Similarly, we supported organizations, and that was at a very critical juncture where they wanted to have an injunction order against the government, and we supported them not only with the drafting and appearance before the court, but also strategizing the entire transaction. And it was more than a 400 crore matter at that point of time. We successfully handled, and I will say, in a very, very limited span of time, maybe around 2 or 3 days' time. Similarly, we have handled the matters related to civil liberty, we have handled the matter related to the IBC, we have handled the matter related to operation and risk management, which has given immense pleasure to us, seeing that we have not only effectively handled the litigation but also resolved the long pending disputes. This reminds me one matter we have handled for one of our dear friend, Mr. K.V. who was struggling before the court for more than 6, 7 years. And when we took this matter, we solved that thing out, maybe in all, I think around 7 to 8 matters, all criminal matters. We solved them in a span of around 6 months' time. And this is, I shouldn't be hiding. His last hearing was on the day when I need to discharge my mother from the hospital. And since this was the date, after discharging my mother, I reached to the court and performed my duties. In my duty, I kept on remembering one particular episode or one particular relation what I have learned from my mother. She kept on telling me Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, our first home minister of the country, he was the one when he got the news of demise of his dear family member, when he was there in the court, he couldn't budge. He first completed his work, performed his duties completely. Then only he took the recourse for his personal work. What I was emphasizing that I, as well as the firm to which I belong to, we have the value system where the duty is the first priority and our personal work comes later. I hope what you wanted to ask, I was able to give the answer to that.
Definitely, I received.
Anything else?
So, what sets Whitespan Group apart from other legal advisory firms and other industry in the industry? Basically, what's the difference? Like,
Uh, Anjali, let me tell you, though many organizations are different and they are different in different ways, but I will say because of our value system, because of adherence to the value system, and a zeal and passion to support, and also humbleness, egoless personalities, that these traits put us to a different league altogether. I'm not saying good or bad, but yes. So then we talked about value system. We talked about adherence to the value system. We talked about passion, zeal, and we talked about that humbleness. See, it's very easy for us to have an ego, to say, this is the way what we do, this is the way that we do. But no, unless we understand the facts, unless we assimilate the law, that too, like a professional who is grossly involved with the facts and law, and he's kept on innovating new thing, it would not be possible. We are in a competitive space. Therefore, we have a value system. We follow the 5S Japanese principle. We do follow Kaizen, which usually people apply in the manufacturing sector. We do follow the 3F policy. One of my friend only, colleague only, you know, talked about it. Fast, fair, and fearless. And unless we reaches to the zenith of our innovations, we never take rest. Therefore, we follow values. We work with a passion and try to work with our client as the partner in resolution of all their problems and needs, which makes us quite different. And of course, we are, in terms of our costing, we are really friendly, pocket friendly. There, therefore, I will say there are not many organizations like what the Whitespan is.
Thank you for sharing. Anjali, please look forward.
So, yeah. So, with over 30 years of experience as a practicing auditor, what significant changes you have observed in the industry?
Actually, let me share with you two things. One, I'm not practicing as an auditor. I'm practicing as an attorney. Of course, since since I'm also a qualified company secretary and a graduate in management, I do perform for my clients. My team do perform for my clients the practice of internal audit and compliance audit, and the separate team which is there, the separate associates who are there, they do perform the secretarial and statutory audits and other forensic audits and all. But yes, if we talked about a comprehensive set, yes, we do provide, besides the attorney services, the auditor services too. Now, coming back to your question, during all this span of time, what we have seen in terms of development, in terms of different sort of changes in the industry, yes, I will say quite a few changes which has taken place. I kept on saying to my friends and colleagues, just go back 30 or 40 years, what was happening, I believe, in 2000 or maybe 80s, 90s, and 2000, and taking shape maybe in around a decade. Now, all that things are happening much faster. Maybe in a year, we are seeing number of changes which was otherwise happening in the earlier years, 18, 90s, 2000, in 10 years. So the pace of change has become really fast. Second, variety of changes has also got, I will say, quite a number. And a third, the implication of those changes or the impact of those changes has also got really varied. Be it stock market, be it industry, be it change in the market paradigm or the legal fraternity. I guess what we have seen in our life, the changes in law, I think our previous generation would not have seen that. And I guess the new generation is going to see much more than that. IBC has come up, Companies Act has come up, GST, the new law has come up, many taxation laws got sunned and subsumed. The new three law, Bharat Nyaya Sanhita, Bharat Sakshi Sanhita, and all these things has come up. And not only this, the MSME, what you talked about, that's also not a very old law. So therefore, what I'm saying, various legislation has come up. Various previous legislation has got shut down and new legislation has come up. Many practitioners who were earlier practicing just on the basis of one law and throughout their life, they are facing really difficult time. They have to learn. They have to learn on daily basis. Then the transformation of the legal system by introduction of the technologies. Earlier, nobody had thought of the virtual hearings. Now they have become the norms of the day. New set of tribunals has come up, like IBC, like Competition Commission, NCLAT, GST, appellate authorities. In income tax, that faceless assessment concept, that's also absolutely new. I must appreciate the will of the government and the implementation ministry, how fast and how efficiently they are doing it. Our great appreciation for them. And of course, to the legal fraternity, our bar, our brothers and sisters who are doing it despite all difficulties, they have not only made themselves trained in that, but they are effectively and efficiently utilizing that. I must say this that our legal system is no less than any top international legal system. Yes, of course, when I'm saying that, I'm aware of that we have long pendencies, but yes, then we also have a zeal, we also have a will, and we also making our all possible efforts to challenge that and to control that and also to overcome out of it. Surely we are going to surmount it. So what I was saying in sum that yes, we have seen a lot of changes, quite fast changes during this time. And I've also seen people's developing their capabilities, skills to surmount those changes. And it also gives us a lot of energy and motivation to step up and to gain new skills and utilize new innovative techniques while solving the problems of our client and our society.
So, sir, what skill do you believe are essential for success in legal advisory and auditing?
If I understand your question correctly, you wish to ask what is the mantra for success in the legal advisory?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I will tell you two things. What many of our elders kept on saying, there is only one mantra: hard work, and hard work. If I need to support this thing, I will say that when you are doing the hard work, yes, hard work is important, but you also need to determine what is the way, what is your vision, what is your goal. What I mean to say that unless you have set your direction, unless you have set your discipline, a hard work only is not going to result in success. To take for example, if you want to master in a particular set of law, you need to not only develop a plan for it, you need to develop a complete strategy how you are going to achieve that mastery. You can utilize that famous 1000 hours or 1000 day concept. You use your innovative technologies, you take training, you develop different set of knowledge sets around that. So what I mean to say that you need to plan it and you need to do it. And you need to do it with wholehearted. Once you are doing it wholeheartedly, I think there is no reason why you will not achieve it. Same is the case here in the legal fraternity, unlike many other professions. This is one profession where you need to trial a lot. This one profession, unless the person is fully passionate about this, to serve the people, irrespective of fact whether they are going to get the money or not, this is not passion for them. But the passion, sorry, this is not the profession for them. This profession is for those who are passionate about supporting their clients And believe me, once they develop this passion, they get a lot of affluence, lot of influence, and lot of all those things, whatever they want. Plan, dedication, untiring efforts, and a passion to support. I think these are the mantra which not only we have followed, but we also request our young generation to follow, which will help them to grow big and come out as one of the best practitioners in the world, to which our Indian entrepreneurs and Indian industry really deserves so.
Great. So, can you share an example of a particular tough decision you had to make as a leader and the impact it had on your firm?
There are many. In a journey of a corporate or in a journey of a firm, there are many decisions. Like, for example, though this is quite common, but I will tell you in very specific terms that in one of the matter, which was a consumer matter, we contested against a very big organization. While taking up that matter, that too pro bono, it was apparent that I'm going to have the conflict of interest with that organization for a long time. And as we know, the matter goes a bit long. The same has happened, and despite the fact we got an opportunity from that organization, we had to simply say no because we have a conflict of interest. So wherever it comes to the adherence to the value, we always stood by that. So therefore, following the path of honesty and the ethical standard, that is, I will say, the no-brainer for us. For many, it may be a difficult decision, but for us, it's a very candid and natural decisions. We do follow that. But yes, setting the principles like that, that was one of the difficult time, and that was one of the difficult decision. But we collectively, in a team, decided that this is what the Whitespan should be doing it. So therefore, setting up the value standards and adherence systems for that, that was the one which we thoughtfully decided and meticulously followed. I hope I'm able to answer your question.
Definitely, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Great insight, sir. So, sir, what strategy do you use to motivate and retain top talent at Whitespan Group?
Anjali, let me tell you frankly, this has become one of the difficult, problem all across. As I'm growing older, sometimes I start feeling that I am unable to understand the new generation. But here I am not to share our pain. Here we are to share the glimpses of light or those silver lining which we have embarked upon. So let me tell you, we have decided and now going to implement that also policy of fixed as well as variable remuneration across the company. We are also going to initiate the process of sweat equity in the organizations. Likewise, we are also developing a career progression process within the organizations. So then what I'm trying to tell you is this, that though we boast to say that the atmosphere at Whitespan is a really happy and motivating atmosphere for anybody to work, but we are not limiting ourselves to this, but to boost it further, we are developing new systems, reward and recognition, and motivational tools for our existing and new set of employees and partners in a team. Having said so, I personally feel that most of the time, team or talent, they don't leave you just for money. They most of the time leave their organization if they don't find their career progression is getting stuck. If we'll provide a good career progression and the kind of work which challenges them, of course, with the remunerating and rewarding them, this is going to certainly help the organization to retain the talent and team. Before concluding, let me, tell you a thing which I just got out of my memory. When we started this organization, the first thought was that the organization should be one in which when the person start from the home, they feel excited. Yes, I'm going to the office. I'm going to my workplace. That should be the thought. That should, kind of vibes should come into the mind. And for all these years, maybe around 12, 14 years, we are trying implementing those kind of things. We work like a family in a, I will not say very formal set, it's quite informal set, and a very friendly and homely atmosphere. We do feel pressure, but we still try to keep this alive. आगे देखते हैं क्या होता है.
Great, nice to hear this. So, what are your future plans for Whitespan Group? Like, where do you see the firm in next 5 years?
This is quite an interview type of question. But as you would have asked, let me tell you two things. ख्वाहिशें तो कई हैं, मंजिलें भी बड़ी हैं, रफ्ता रफ्ता मिलके अगर चलेंगे तो वो भी पा जाएंगे. So what I wish to say that we have made quite ambitious plan for Whitespan, but they are not limited to money. They are not limited to what I get back. they are also quite relevant and connected to how we are going to support the society and the industry. How many problem, how many complex problem, how many academic session, how many workshop, how many philanthropic activity, how many pro bono cases. So then what I wish to say that unlike many other organizations, yes, of course, we are the profit for profit organizations, but we have an organization with a heart, and we wish to be such a passionate organization which is growing but not at the cost of others, but by contributing to the industry and society. In the coming years, I am pretty sure that we will be coming up quite a big as a big consulting organization, a big boutique advisory organization, which is helping the society, industry, and nation in its own sphere with a lot of passion and zeal. I trust it's an answer which you was not looking for.
It was beautifully answered and very innovative, I would say. So
Thank you
thank
very much.
you.
So, sir, is there anything you would like to share with our audience, perhaps a final piece of advice or an inspiration thought?
Uh, how to say injury? मैं तो खुद ही भी सीख रहा हूँ चीजों को. But yes, with these gray hairs, everybody really wish to ask कि भाई तुमने सीखा क्या? So for that I will say three things, especially for my friends who are there in the field of law or in a profession. Dear, this is a field which requires a lot of passion. If you are here just for earning money, it may not be a right place. Anjali, you might have remembered there was a concept we kept on studying whether this particular thing is an art or science. You remember? Likewise, Anjali, this profession is not at all a science, it's complete art. For each and everything, we have a different set of arguments, interpretations. The same thing, one person seeing differently, another absolutely differently. So what I'm trying to say, that if somebody just came here for taking the box, earning money, no, this is not the profession for them. They may earn, they may reach to a stage, but at the end of the day, they will not be feeling complete inside. Therefore, if you want to have a wholesome life, you want to be fully satisfied, You have to have a passion for this profession, passion to help others. If you can die for others' plight, if you can fight for their rights, if you can put yourself into their shoes, then you are the right one for this. So, having said so, my first request to all my friends is develop the passion for the professions, develop the passion for supporting others. Many things, क्या बोलते हैं वो, शोहरत, बंगला, गाड़ी, पैसा, बहुत कुछ आ जाएगा. But first, this is the one which requires. And a second is utilize a lot of innovative things. Question yourself, question the obvious, challenge the status quo. Things will start, shaping till, you know, the disruptive policy will start, creating the new ways for you. And a third, पॉजिटिव पैशन, ये इनोवेशन ऐसे नहीं आ जाते हैं. खुद के ऊपर बहुत काम करना पड़ता है, बहुत सारी स्किल्स डेवलप करनी पड़ती है, तो टेक ए लॉट ऑफ ट्वेल्व, बहुत एफर्ट्स करने पड़ते हैं. तो देन दैट हार्ड वर्क. तो अगर इन तीनों को गूंथ लेते ना, तो अब ये जो आटा बनता है, इससे जो रोटी बनती है, दैट्स वेरी डिफरेंट. खाने में मजा आता है और परोसने में भी. So that is how, I will say that with the passion, with the innovation, with the continuous efforts, you come out so shining. Everybody say, this is the sun. This is the sun. I think, that shapes you well.
Thank you for sharing your views with our audience. Beautifully answered. So, moving ahead, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Vinay Shukla, co-founder and managing partner, Whitespan Advisory and Law Offices, for being our guest for today at Conversation with Consultants. Your presence and engagement helped it to make it a success. So, thank you for providing insight into your inspirational journey. Further, we would also like to thank our audience for listening patiently throughout our event. So, thank you everyone for joining with us today. And everyone has gained some knowledge through this event. So, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the co-host and host. Thank you very much.
Dr. Great session, Vinay. Thank you. Sure. Anjali, Aditi, and Faiz, I would like to request you to stay back for a moment. Good time.
Thank you very much. Should I leave?
Sure, Vinay. Yeah, sure.
Yes. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Rishabh, you might also.